circuits, wrong or right. Every table, every screen. We're the legends, we're the dream. Roll the dice. We're the dream. Roll the old scrolls to the neon skies. Magic sparks and the data flies. Bullets lurk, but Lego alone. We run it. We're the dream. Grab the snacks, it's game night. Roll the dice, grab your sheet, set the scene. Heroes rise, D&D, Pathfinder. Worlds collide, cyberpunk's neon glow. Tech and crime, dungeon maps, net hacks. Fate untold, we ain't just players, we shape the world. Mystic scrolls or a hacker's key. One good roll and we break reality. Roll the dice, take the leap. Face the fire, slay the beast. Magic surge in brains ignite. Legends live when we roll it right. Stealing spells in a kingdom vast. Pathfinder's call, make history last. Battle gods change fate, seize the throne. From mythic quests to lands unknown. Echoes of ancients, runes in the stone. A hero's fate is never their own. Rise from the ashes, power untamed. Walk with the legends, carve out your name. Take the quest, don't look back. Fate is calling like the path. From the whispers of the past to the throne we'll seize at last. Jacking to the grid, let's run the heist. Neon veins, chrome bones, gamble with life. Corpos lurk, got crits to stack. One false move and there's no going back. Gutter kings, black ice systems crash. Cybernetic gods in the data flash. Bullets rain in the city of dreams, but we're ghosts in the code, unseen machines. Break the lock, break the chain. In the dark where rebels reign. Street samurai, deckers ride. One last job, then we're out alive. Shadows creep where the answers hide. Forgotten truths in the cracks of time. Monsters lurking behind the scenes. No coffee breaks, no waking dreams. Veil is thin, we slip between mortal myths and things unseen. Dice keep rolling, the story extends. But in the dark, does the game ever end? One shot, one night, lights go dim. Roll high or bubble, sleep or swim. In every world, in every fight, legends rise when the dice roll right. From the old scrolls to the neon skies. Magic sparks and the data flies. We write the lore, we forge the steel. A new adventure, a fate that's real. Roll the dice, take the flight. Steal the circuits, wrong or right. Every table, every screen. We're the legends, we're the dream. Roll the dice. We're the dream. Roll the old scrolls to the neon skies. Magic sparks and the data flies. Bullets lurk, but Lego alone. We run it. We're the dream. Grab the snacks, it's game night. Roll the dice, grab your sheet, set the scene. Heroes rise, D&D, Pathfinder. Worlds collide, cyberpunk's neon glow. Tech and crime, dungeon maps, net hacks. Fate untold, we ain't just players, we shape the world. Mystic scrolls or a hacker's key. One good roll and we break reality. Roll the dice, take the leap. Face the fire, slay the beast. Magic surge in brains ignite. Legends live when we roll it right. Stealing spells in a kingdom vast. Pathfinder's history last. Battle gods change fate, seize the throne. From mythic quests to lands unknown. Echoes of ancients, runes in the stone. A hero's fate is never their own. Rise from the ashes, power untamed. Walk with the legends, carve out your name. Take the quest, don't look back. Fate is calling, light the path. From the whispers of the past to the throne we'll seize at last. Jacking to the grid, let's run the heist. Neon veins, chrome bones, gamble with life. Corpos lurk, got crits to stack. One false move and there's no going back. Gutter kings, black ice systems crash. Cybernetic gods in the data flash. Bullets rain in the city of dreams, but we're ghosts in the code, unseen machines. Break the lock, break the chain. In the dark where rebels reign. Street samurai, deckers ride. One last job, then we're out alive. Shadows creep where the answers hide. Forgotten truths in the cracks of time. Monsters lurking behind the scenes. No coffee breaks, no waking dreams. Veil is thin, we slip between mortal myths and things unseen. Dice keep rolling, the story extends. But in the dark, does the game ever end? One shot, one night, lights go dim. Roll high on bubbles, sleep or swim. In every world, in every fight, legends rise when the dice roll right.
What's up, Internet? Welcome back. We're diving right back into it. Welcome to the GM Podcast. As you can see, I've got everybody with me. We're going to go ahead. You motherfuckers! You motherfuckers! Any other time I come right in here, you guys will shut the fuck up, shut the fuck down, and wait. This time y'all decide, oh, hey! Yeah,
okay, first of all, ain't nobody talking while I'm talking, so shut the fuck up.
Alright, now, welcome to the GM Podcast, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get right into it. Who wants to go first?
Introductions. I guess. Introductions. I'm Adam. This is your brain on chugs, and I'm the GM of Better Off Red. I also play Tarek in Raven and Ravnica. I play the Unknown in the Villain campaign, and tonight I just concluded the existence of my nation, the Valera's Dominion, in Home, Mech X Kaiju. What? Wait, hold on. Wait, we got.
I was about to say, no, wait, we have this on tap already. There we go. Alright, that's all we can play.
Yeah, it's 7.
Wait, are you going to get DMC aid for taps?
Dude, no.
Public domain.
Dead ass. You can get DMC aid for taps. Seen it happen too many times to want to fucking get near it. Like that, we can do that start, but we got to protect ourselves right here.
Understood.
All right, Gravity.
Everybody, I'm Gravity. I am the GM of the Pathfinder campaign, Gauntlet Chronicles. I am also the player of Trini and the Raving Ravnica command for the campaign. I'm having a stroke at the moment. Give me a second.
We can tell.
I also played Magnus in the Villain campaign. Slowly, all of my characters just keep going crazy.
I think it's just you, Gravity. I don't think it's your characters. I think it's just you.
Oh, and I play Splatter in Better Off Red, who is canonically crazy, but in a different way.
Joining us today for their, I think this is your second time in here. You're becoming a regular, motherfucker. Miguel, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Miguel. I currently do not DM any games on the channel, though I DM my own home game on the side. It's been going for a year. And yeah, I play Fox in Cyberpunk. I play Kalen in Raven and Ravnica. I play Raul in the Villain campaign, and I play Jingles in Pathfinder. And today, we also concluded my nation, the Zathalon Commonwealth, in home, Mech Kaiju, which is very fun. And yeah, excited to be here. Passing it off to you.
And we also do have Darkheart here. However, Darkheart has had to step away to deal with some family things for the moment. He may or may not return. We do not know, but just going to mention that he is the GM of Raven and Ravnica. He plays Valadar and Shigara in Pathfinder Gauntlet Chronicles. He is Rook, the Lawman, in Cyberpunk Red. He was the player behind the Velis Dominion. Have I missed anything? Oh,
No,
and he
was the
is
Imperium.
Silas.
No, I was the Dominion.
No, the Velis Imperium.
Yes.
Yeah. And Silas in Avenging the King, our villain campaign. And I am Aaron Sigil, GM of Everybody Loves Kragan and Avenging the King, the villain campaign. And yeah, let's get real about it. If y'all are here, y'all know who the fuck I am. I don't think I need to go any further with who the fuck I play unless y'all want to lose your minds. It's me, Sid! Everywhere, Sid! It's just Sid! Yeah, okay, I guess, yeah. So, Sid, Antris, Aaron, and, yeah. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Starting things off this month, we are going to be changing our order up a little bit. Gravity, Pathfinder, what up?
Yeah. Yes, the continuing madness of Pathfinder happening. We picked up where we left off with Sid starting a fight with another fiend. Fiend walked in the chambers.
I will
and
fight
one time
anything. Have you not figured this
I
out
know.
yet, Gravity? I want to fight. If I want to fight, I'm gonna get a fight.
Astros, do your thing. All right.
Yeah, I'm on it.
One of these times.
I'm gonna walk away now.
Anyway, after the fight, the party initially continued exploring, testing out Valadar's ability to use Fireball a few times. They also ran into, one of the heads of the cult, now a living swarm, which was a quick encounter. Kind of thanks to, originally Sid's plans for explosives, and then everyone... Antris's paladin might. Or should I say champion might. Freaking wordings. We also learned a bit more about Antris and his view on certain things, being after some encounters with some ghosts, some new items being given to the party, a lantern that I'm very worried is in Sid's hands. They actually saved another civilian trapped within the temple. Well, tower. Technically tower. What is it actually considered if it's a tower built downward? Is that just a
Okay, no. It is not actually a tower. The Gauntlet is technically a fortress built underground.
Yes, but
it's something I didn't. That is how it's referenced inside of both Kingsmaker and in Wrath of the Righteous. Is that it is a underground fortress? It is a fortress that has been built underground.
Yes, my brain keeps thinking of it as a tower for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because it is technically supposed to be layered in like a triangle fashion or something.
It's because the centerpiece is a tower. That's what it is.
That's
like the
true. Anyway.
the gauntlet itself is the main focus here, not the rest of the fortress itself.
True. Anyway, the party also saved another civilian, which Antros also wanted to mercy kill, but I think that's because he wants more on his payment than other things. And after a while, everyone learned that Sid apparently can cook, which also threw me for a loop. I imagine at some point Sid just taking the season feat for fun. But yeah, the party's finished. But the party's also full cleared another floor, and we are getting ever closer to the bottom. Let's hope I can actually hit people, because
After what you did to us at the start of last session, sir, you don't get to say, let's hit people. Yeah. What you did to Sid. You don't get to say, let's hope I can hit people, because I seem to remember a whole lot of hits.
I'm actually starting to realize I'm starting to realize that every session it just seems I can only hit one of you.
So aim for Valadar, you ass.
I try. I can't help that Valadar is a dex maniac.
It's okay. For real though.
Oh, and everybody's level 7 now. Now getting ever closer to the limit of this campaign. And already, you see how Pathfinder works with higher as it builds in level.
Oh,
because I know Sid is moving at the limit of the shit he can pull at this level.
Yeah.
Wait, so we're level 7? I thought we just got to level 6.
Wait.
And see, now I'm pulling up my character sheet.
Now I'm looking too, because I thought you guys were level 7. Am I wrong?
Are we a level behind where we're supposed to be?
Or am I just stupid?
I mean, you could just be insane. We have driven you kind of.
I mean, I am. You're not wrong. No, I'm wrong. You're getting close to level 7.
Yeah.
You're level
we got it.
That's my insanity kicking in.
Okay.
It's all good.
So there were some so I'm playing real quick speed up is I'm playing both games now.
Oh boy.
For Pathfinder. First off, I want to make this very clear to the audience. Kingsmaker. Really, really nice Baldur's Gate 1 clone. Also has all the same inherent problems that Baldur's Gate 1 had. Do yourself a favor, just play Wrath of the Righteous.
Just play Wrath. Yeah, I'm going to say this now. If you are looking to get into the Pathfinder CRPGs, just play Wrath. Wrath has a lot more content, a lot more built into it. It's the more perfected game, and that is because they had a lot more support on it.
Plus, honestly, one of my favorite villains. I'm gonna be straight up about this. Minago. Minago is one of my favorite villains. I've seen Demon S's done numerous times throughout fantasy RPGs, but none of them have ever just been so deliciously outright vile like she is. I mean, all I'm gonna say, the only context I'll give here is she seduces a world stone.
Oh, the word of God, that just makes my brain go.
That's all I'm gonna say on the matter, though.
Yeah, but yet again.
But I'm looking forward to getting further into the dungeon. I know we were all playing. I don't know if the party actually decided whether we were going to be making a gander up back to town on a montage or not.
I
think we were talking about it.
Yeah, it came up because of the civilian you guys saved and wanting to get him back to town before Antros decides to mercy kill him for reasons.
I mean, let's get real about it. He doesn't look like he's gonna make it back to town to begin with. We could just put him out of his misery and he wouldn't have to suffer, you know.
Yeah, by the way, next session's going to be even funnier because, well, we'll bring it up during home, but Dark had to do something. It's not, in good words, it's something I've only had to do in any of the campaigns.
Yeah. The DMs are pretty hardcore reliant on staying away from those curses. We really are. None of us want to get hit by it, to be honest, because it's one thing. It's one thing for players. It's another thing for the DMs. Us GMs have a slightly nastier outcome. Gravity got a weak-handed one, but I'm interested to see what Dark's gonna roll up. I really am.
I've got my curse list already out.
Oh God.
Took me a lot of fine, but I've got it.
Oh, this is gonna be
Got
great.
it. But yeah,
yeah.
next time we get to finally explore a new floor. Let's see if Antris gets to feel more trauma. And yeah.
Antris is impossible to traumatize him. Okay, he's already traumatized. You can't traumatize the traumatized.
We'll see about that.
True.
I don't like the way you said that, Gravity. I don't like the way you said that at all.
He said that's a challenge.
Right? You bitch.
But anyway. But yeah, next time again we're going to the next floor. Well, we're gonna have a quick montage back to town, drop off the NPC. See and explore the floor further. The lower floors further.
Yeah, I gotta do some
Hopefully
room
the party
juggling.
doesn't. In real life, or
In the game.
okay. I was about to be like, wait, do you have to change rooms? But yeah, no. But yeah. Anybody want to say anything? Do the two players in the room have any questions about about what's happening?
Not really. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a weird situation for me, to be honest, because number one, I've been in here.
Yeah.
Now. I know the layout of this bitch now. I know a little bit more than I did, and to be honest, I appreciate that I don't actually know a damn thing, because the information in Wrath of the Righteous when you're here has nothing to do with the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's entirely just about Otori and the history of the fortress, not anything to do with the Gauntlet or anything else.
Yeah, that's kind of like how all the adventure modules are kind of posed. Only bits and pieces of information are usually referenced, which is getting more. It's going to get more interesting because Paizo's confirmed something that instantly makes my brain go no.
I'm getting my Necromancer class.
Well, you're getting that, yes, but not now. The next module they're rebooting, which is the module I kind of was hoping they wouldn't. If I thought it was going to be Wrath, I would have been happy if it was Wrath. It's Rune Lords, which, please, no. Just, I don't need time sliding being a thing. I don't want to imagine Sid getting that power.
Did you say that I can use chronomancy?
I mean, technically it's existed. There's an archetype for it already. There's two of them, actually.
Not as an archetype.
Yeah, they're archetypes.
Sid is going to take this under consideration when Sid goes to Kingsmaker, yes? Suddenly thinking time magic with the power of a witch. Great idea.
Yeah, you want to look up Time Mage, which there's already a subclass for Witch focusing on time magic.
Eh, 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 eh.
By the way, I still need to look into the maps for that, but that's for later plans. Because I do have plans for Kingsmaker to change things up.
Gotcha.
Up for my if nobody has anything else, I think that's it for Pathfinder.
Kurtosh?
Other than more content's coming, and I'm afraid.
Or should I say jingles?
Yes.
Do you
No, it was
have
really
anything?
fun. I like the info we got off of the brain drain before the fight with the guy.
Yeah.
I don't think you're using that because so many people.
Oh, hell yeah! Hell yeah! It's so fun.
Come on.
And
This is a thematic.
hypercognition, mind link. Like it's so fucking cool.
Like, this is a thematic role playing group. Of course, we're going to utilize the shit that lets us get fucking lore.
Lore.
Yes, I have the lore build. You shall
See-
fall.
In the words of Valadar, we are here to steal.
All of your lore, yes.
And I'm happy to give what I can.
Don't worry, Jingles and Sid will own the town before the end of the campaign. Jingles is already working on our financial exponential growth plan. Yes.
Yes.
God.
We'll take that boat with that dog and the lich in it and all the other people, and we're gonna have the lich resurrect an army of mermaids to take over the oceans and form the most vast merchant empire ever.
Jingles, not that
What?
plan, not that plan. That's
Sorry.
the pirate plan for
We've
after
been in
we
the
take
gauntlet
over.
for a long time. There's a lot of skeletons, undead everywhere. It's sorry.
I understand, Jingles. Look, we're gonna get you out to sea after we take over Otari. We already talked about this, remember?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. So remember, you're supposed to be tying the mayor up and holding him hostage until his family and all the townspeople agree to pay us to free him from the evil, vicious, dragon-like lizard thing. And then we,
Yes, he
the
must feel pay
heroic
for his initial
kobolds...
transgression.
Exactly, and then we, the heroic kobolds, will rescue the mayor, becoming the heroes and dethroning him as the rulers of Otari.
I just imagined when the mayor's getting like knocked out and tied up. It's just Jingles and Sid with a potato sack over their head, and then they pass by an hour later, like we're here to save.
Yes.
Damn it.
Oh my god.
Now that we've gotten that out of our session, now that we've gotten that out of our systems.
Yes.
I guess that's Pathfinder. I gotta. Protari, you're not as bad as Sandpoint, but God, do bad things seem to just happen to you.
Look, I don't think you understand. Under my leadership, the town of Otari will become the kingdom of Otari. Unbeknownst to you, it will become the birthplace of the nation of Sid. You've already seen what I can do with a nation. Think I won't do it again?
Then, oh God, I'm not even gonna say it. Please move on.
All right. Moving on to more darker. No, saner is relative, sir. Darker, more realistic threats. Chugs, take it away, brother.
So, this month in Better Off Red, is, well, to start off, we couldn't stream it because Twitch decided that night that it just didn't want to work for anybody. So we recorded it on VOD. It will be up on YouTube. But Fox has been kidnapped by his girlfriend.
Help me!
And the rest of the crew were going to be on their way to intercept, it seems, until once again Afterthought was proven correct because Alexia opened all the cell doors in the jail cells at the Reef, letting out Kai along with every other inmate. So that took Dark and Splatter out of the rescue side of the equation. And we've got introduced to a new character, Afterthought's drug dealer, Mixie, who has now joined this I don't even know what to call this group anymore.
Channel of Madmen.
Yeah. But so as it stands, the boss has gone underground. Jackie Jackie, Afterthought, Mixie, and Crash are in Lucille chasing down the convoy of vehicles that are holding the captive members of the Inari. Afterthought got highly offended when pieces of the trucks broke away and turned out to be extremely large combat drones. But Alexia wasn't the only one with a trick up her sleeve. Crash and Jackie had done some modifications to Lucille, and Lucille was firing EMP grenades out of a cannon. Shut down one of the trucks. And that's currently where we're at is we don't know which truck it is that went down, but the very last thing is Fox telling Alexia, let me out, or let me out of these restraints. I can help you.
Do you trust me?
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Alexia?
I don't know.
Hold on. We're forgetting one other thing. Where's Splatter in all this?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot. So yeah, Splatter is while Rook was willing to let his brother escape in order to stop the riot going on in the jail. Um, Splatter encountered Kai on the way out and now is engaged in a fight where he has so far shot Kai twice. And we all know how protective Rook is of his brother.
Yeah.
And
It's
Rook's
the
on his
moment
way
I
out
found-
the building right now.
Yeah. And it's also one of those times we found out my dice apparently want me dead. They'll help me as long as it leads to my death.
Yeah, your dice are really helping you fight Kai, which is not a good thing.
I think the best part about this, right, is that courtesy of Better Off Red, not only has Mystic joined as Auntie Mixie, but Mystic has also now watched Edge Runners to completion and is playing Cyberpunk 2077 on the side.
Oh God.
See, there she goes in the chat.
Yep.
So she is getting herself extremely familiarized with this world setting and what her job as a fixer is. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Mystic's going to be bringing as Auntie Mixie. All joking aside, I am extremely excited to see what happens when Rook gets out the building. Like, no joking aside, he made the decision to let Kai go. Does he have enough self-control to keep from murdering Gravity?
I have one way out, and I'm imagining it's still going to turn into a roll.
Like I said, I'm intrigued to see where that goes. Mystic said he gonna get bitch slapped in the face.
You can bitch slap and wake up in the void.
So, what did we learn?
Right.
Oh,
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen. Number one, with Fox and Alexia inside of the convoy. I'm also excited to see what happens with those of us following behind, considering we're off Afterthoughts plan. And whenever we go off,
don't even reveal what Afterthoughts' plan is because
Nope.
you didn't even state it.
Nope.
I know, I as the GM know it, but we're gonna save that for next session because I want to see how you actually can convey to your fellow crew members that, hey, I appreciate the effort, but you're doing the wrong thing.
Right. I'm extremely intrigued to see how all of this is going to go moving forward as both a GM, because narratively this is for me at least as a player and a GM, this is one of my favorite games that I'm playing in, because there's certain parts I have not been able to predict, and that is really hard for me. Like, as a player, I've been in a lot of situations, so I'm used to a certain degree, already figuring shit out before we get there. I wasn't ready for you to throw my own bullshit at me, you sack of crap.
What, do you think you're the only person in Night City that can use drones?
No, but I think I'm the only one who has had the idea to weaponize them so completely.
No, that's absolutely. There are weaponized drones in the core rulebook. Like,
I'm not giving you the Aaron answer here. Remember that.
Ah,
I'm not giving you the Aaron answer.
Afterthought has been spending too much time in the net. He doesn't realize that he doesn't
Yes.
realize that like weaponized drones are a thing.
He's a net runner. He generally doesn't spend much time out in combat situations and the like. Like that's what Jackie's for.
we got you out on the field now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next episode, I think, could be very pivotal for a lot of plot lines. So
Yes.
it's gonna be a very intense episode. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Right. Gravy, what about you? As Splatter, our resident psychopath.
Med tech, but I'm I'm both excited and worried because the next session is going to be very interesting for me.
You might
Part of
die.
me, oh yeah, no, it might might not. It's a heavy possibility.
Yeah. I like how I'm kidnapped, yet I'm more worried for you.
Right. I'm I'm not like that's the actual irony is I'm not too worried about Fox. I'm really not in the grand scheme. I don't think you're completely expended yet in whatever
Yeah,
Alexa's trying to do. But Splatter's current situations are really bad. He's put
I
hands on Kai.
and that's been a death sentence within the party.
Mhm.
You afterthoughts knows in the amount of damage that came with it.
I didn't even do anything to Kai at that point. The fuck are you saying? Like, that was just him being fed up with me being a douchebag, not me coming at his brother. That is why I am scared of what's going to happen to you, Splatter.
Yeah,
Like, that was just me pissing him off. You hit his baby brother.
Hit, shot in the chest with a shotgun. You know, semantics.
Don't worry, we'll get you
yeah.
we'll get a drink named after you at the afterlife, bro.
Oh, 100%.
That's assuming you learn about my death.
Rook wouldn't hide your death from us, blame it on somebody else, totally, but wouldn't hide your death from us.
You don't know how he's pushed to his limit. This might be the thing to finally make him snap and go full bad cop. Because I don't know how much HP Kai has left. I don't actually know how stable he is.
Right.
It's a scary situation. All around. Next session's gonna be pretty pivotal all the way around, like you said.
Yep. I'm looking forward to seeing what you chooms come up with.
Bunch of fucking gonks around here. The hell are you talking about?
So let's I guess we can move on to avenging the king.
Yes. This saw the second episode of Avenging the King, the villain campaign, the D&D 5th edition villain campaign, and our intrepid party has found themselves in a very familiar place to our players, foreign to their characters. They found themselves in the mall.
Somehow
And
I always return.
it's almost like you never truly leave it.
No.
Hotel California starts playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one problem. You never truly leave.
Exactly.
Shit. Here we go again.
But the players have found themselves inside of the mall and immediately found themselves up against one of the more powerful residents of the mall, Kragan Gamma. After a battle with Gamma's replication ability, the party was able to secure themselves a reprieve as Gamma chose to dip out instead of, in his words, taking care of things now. The party then made their way through the caverns that they had landed in to find many golems bound in chains, carrying out duties and jobs that the mall requires, paying no real attention to them, except for when one member of the party got up close and personal with one of the golems. A voice told him back away. First he didn't listen, did he, Gravity?
I listened afterwards.
Yup. But after coming to the realization that the Moz does not care for them, they made their way through the rest of the tunnels to find themselves in a grove. Trees, sunlight, and new strange creatures on the horizon.
The
So,
horrors.
this was y'all's second session. Obviously, you guys started this campaign out essentially with a boss fight.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling after a week?
Pretty good. Feel like we did well. Everyone got to show off a little bit of what they're up to.
I continue the bad habit of this group's mages casting spells on the party, and I do not care.
Hey, it's a villain
happened enough to me.
campaign.
It's
This
happened enough
is the
to me.
campaign to say I cast fireball. I didn't ask who was around.
Yep. What were you saying there, Gravity?
It's happened enough to me at this point. Although that's mostly smoke breath, so yeah. But still, it was a fine session, and I felt happy at the success, worried about the future. Because Gamma was an interesting threat. And he's still out there.
Creeping.
Jugs, you've
Look.
been stunningly silent over there. Care to share your thoughts?
Fuck that replicating bastard. Oh wait, and now courtesy of the unknown, there are 3 Minotaurs.
So
Yup.
fucking awesome.
So that does bring
And,
something
like, all
up.
getting along with each other, like.
So that does bring something up that that I do need to address real quick, and that is I allowed this for the fight because thematically it worked. However, I do need to point out that when you duplicate someone like you did with Silas, where you become Silas in a sense, you do not typically get to duplicate all of their items and gear as well. You are duplicating simply the appearance of their items and gear. Make sense?
Okay, so that applies to whenever I'm making a clone.
Yeah. Well, if you're making a clone, that is a different situation. A clone is a complete duplication, weapons, gear, and everything. Unless unless it has that state of no equipment and nonsense.
Okay. Well, I kind of figured that like with whenever I duplicate like or whenever I take the form of somebody, I'm not duplicating their special items.
Correct.
That it was just that we established that my weapon takes the form of whatever their weapon would look like.
Correct. Like I said, it is the appearance. Your
Yes. But
the
it still carries the attributes of my blade.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to double back to that real quick because it was something that got brought up.
Godolphin.
But yeah. Other than that, what else y'all got? I know that, like I said, this has only been the second session. Y'all haven't really done too much, but this is y'all's first time in over a year now being inside of the mall.
Yeah.
How y'all
Give me
All
some
the
shit to kill. I need bodies.
how y'all feel about that?
out of character, I'm having constant flashbacks to everything that's happened to me in the maw and all of the bad. But again, I'm happy to be here in some version of Taldark and kind of wondering what the hell's going to happen next time after we actually come back.
Kurtosh?
Um, no, I was excited, and can't wait till I see a Beholder Hydra, or some whatever shenanigans you throw at us. But yeah, no, I'm excited to get into the blender and see if I come out the other side.
Very
But yes,
appropriate
I need
wording.
yes, I need shit to kill. Give me bodies.
Bodies, you say. Bodies.
Yeah.
And assuming you can get to them.
Well, again, y'all have already come to the realization of what's going on here. At this point, it really is up to y'all how fast y'all get out of the mall. Y'all are technically headed in that direction, but there's a whole nother path you can go if y'all choose. It's up to you guys how y'all decide to proceed from this point. Um, I will tell you guys straight up that in so much as the story itself, while you can totally go ahead if y'all wanted to do some like quick speed farming, sure, go ahead. But the story's
Oh,
waiting outside, not inside.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing
Um,
is, I'm just wondering if the thing I want to do can even be done in the maw at this point. And at this point, it just turns into me testing out a certain thing I have.
okay.
Because I know the things in the maw are constructs. Also, Magnus is very interested in meeting whoever made these golems. As much as I know, that's going to lead to some bad experiences. Out of character, I'm like, oh, this is going to get me killed. Magnus, these things are close to what I want.
Mhm.
I must find out how.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys get into civilization and society in general, especially considering two of you are coming from very charismatic, very big world positions.
Yes.
Like I'm really looking forward to seeing the role players in this party show off not just their role playing skills, but their role playing skills as villains. And it's gonna be one of those telling moments where we see what people consider to be a villain. You know what I mean? Individually for
Mhm.
each of you. It's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. It's gonna be a defining moment, I believe, and really give me a good grasp on who each of your characters is. Out away from the character sheets and the backstories and everything. But do you guys have any questions for me? Oh, I hold on. Before that, I did almost forget I did have an announcement. Um, I had been talking about the possibility of this moving into 2024 to fix a few balance issues with y'all's characters, bring y'all forward and get y'all a little bit more power. Um, this was met with some resistance, and so I went back and looked at a few things, and I have come to a compromise of sorts. I'm going to be keeping this in 2014. However, I have a handful of feats that I will be giving to everyone's characters to enable specific things. Namely, fighters. This will fix your second wind problem. For who else? It's more than just second wind. For the marshals, this will give you guys the weapon masteries.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, spellcasters will be getting war magic, making it so that y'all have the ability to cast a spell with your attack actions.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, just there's going to be a couple of feats that'll enable some of the 24 features that would help you guys out in so much as bringing y'all's power more up to standard. Because again, y'all are facing off against things that are being designed primarily for 2024.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff that I'm using in this campaign, I'm designing for one of our two side projects going on here.
Right.
So this is a good place for me to actually be able to play test and see how they operate and work against actual players. But that being said, like I said, do you guys have any questions for me?
No.
So that reward we got at the end, are we gonna know what we can use that for, or is that just like, did we get mob bucks? Is what I'm essentially asking.
No, that system has changed.
Gotcha.
You actually you have the remember you have the new rule set already.
Yeah. I was talking about the reward for the Kragan Gamma fight.
Who did I say got that reward?
Me,
Yeah,
me and
I think it was
Gravity?
Magnus and Silas.
Magnus?
And then I got like a participation 25.
Right. Okay. So I guess I'll go ahead and state this here so that there's an actual record of it being stated. For Magnus and Silas, for for surviving the fight, each of you may pick a single feat.
Oh.
There it is.
For you, Raul. Hold on, I didn't get. I was about to say, hold on, I didn't get a really good roll there. Raul.
There we go. Proud of you.
Yeah. For you, my friend, you get 1 ASI.
Ooh. Hell yeah. So like 1 score point.
No, that would be an ABI.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yep. For everybody else who participated in the fight, you all get 1 ABI, which is 1 ability scoring, 1 point for an ability score increase. Some of you may not be able to utilize this right now and may have to wait until a later point, but you do have the 1 point. If anybody wonders why I say it that way, it's because at higher thresholds, it costs more points to get a point.
Yeah.
If any of you have gotten over a 13, you're already aware getting to 14 costs 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so any other questions, though? I love how they jumped straight to their character sheets as soon as I said
damn
that.
right.
Like
Yeah.
hold the
okay,
fuck
okay.
up. Mystic, I know you're also sitting over there in chat. I assume that you two are currently adding your ABI. Is
I
that
haven't-
something?
I kind of want to wait until I can see this feat list you're working on.
The ABI that you gained from the Kragan Gamma fight. You get 1 point to apply to your ability scores. But if nobody else, Mystic's like, I can do that later.
Yeah.
No, I get it. The computers are in here, you know.
Yeah.
If my constitution increases, does that gain also go towards my current HP?
Yeah.
Or is it only max HP? Okay.
It's your max HP.
Yeah, but if my current HP is lower than my max HP, do I still get that extra 20?
No, that does not increase there. Sorry.
Yeah, just double checking.
Yep.
Just making sure.
Okay. Likewise, obviously, classes from third-party expanded materials are allowed. Homebrew materials require approval still.
Cools. But yeah, no, that's cool. So it looks like you dove pretty deep into creating maps for this that work with the new engine. How's that been?
Yeah, so I wanted to give you guys a bit more of a thematic experience going through this. To be clear, the map creation that I'm currently doing is a twofold operation because I'm creating the maps for Avenging the King at the same time that I'm also creating the new maps for Taldarkin in Act 3. and I finally have a really cool thing that I can do, courtesy of a update that dropped yesterday. I can now direct export from Dungeon Alchemist into Tailspire.
Oh shit! Nice.
So this will help me exponentially speed up map production since I already have the overarching world map for Taldarkin. Now I can go in and simply import all of that and then export it all. So I'm hoping that by the time we get to Act 3 that the entirety of the game is already mapped out in Tailspire so that we can return fully to Tailspire for Act 3 and be putting Roll20 back on the back burner only to really be used in situations where it's needed. Am I making myself clear enough here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, any other questions?
And so far, I'm excited to get to the next episode.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Even Mystic in chat. Nope. Lol.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, then we will go ahead and move into the game that literally just got done being ran on this channel. This is our first actual completed game on the channel, guys.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
First of many.
So we are going to hand things over to Miguel here, who is going to give you guys the rundown from his side and his perspective. Miguel, the floor is yours, brother.
All right. Welcome, everyone. And welcome those who came from home. Man, what a finish. What a finish. I had a feeling ever since we messed up Act 1 with the Bane dice, making life a little harder on ourselves, that this was going to be a story where it was like a downfall story. Where I was really just hoping, one of us made it to the end, and look at that. I think everyone fought valiantly on their way there. Closed off their storylines pretty well, I'd say. And, I think you could tell on everyone. Everyone was, like, really invested and wanted their dice to go well. So it was fun. You could feel the tension before each critical roll. And yeah, no, very very fun, very fun. Everyone's kaiju's was pretty awesome as well. And I don't know, I kind of like that we broke it up into 3 sections in this front because it gave everybody a lot of creative liberty to fully dive into the story they wanted to tell. But yeah, I've got some questions I've written down here for some of the home players. That, well, I'll leave Darks for last in case he shows up. But Adam, the Valeris Dominion, buddy, my neighbor, is rough. How are your general feelings of the ending? Yep, I feel it.
I mean, the Valera's Dominion is no more. Its Ronin pilot is dead. There are no survivors, and the kaiju, the collector, has taken up residence on the island that used to be the Valera's Dominion.
Rough, buddy. All right, here's a question for you. Had your first pilot survived, how would the relationship with their connection, your second pilot, have developed?
I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's at this point we're 6 years removed from that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's really hard to gauge any of that.
Right. Okay. Um, Another question for you. How did your second pilot feel to see Thundus, the entity that defeated the first pilot, and then realize they were actually fighting Gravitox, its natural predator?
Hmm.
Especially knowing that like Thundus did take out like the first pilot, which was a connection for the second pilot.
And that yeah, I think that my second pilot was operating like a lot of it was operating out of the pain and rage of losing the first pilot because they were really good friends.
Mhm. Mm. Hello.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure we're all still there. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
So hard to tell. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it's
Then.
yeah, I think at this point the story, the tragedy of the Valera's Dominion is what it is.
Mm, yeah. Hopefully, we can reconquer it in a future campaign. Um, the hell yeah. Last question for you. What was your inspiration for your kaijus, and which one was your favorite to roleplay?
Um well the my first kaiju was just very animalistic, you know. I was thinking very inside the box really. It was a giant electric eel. But after I saw the creative liberties that the rest of you had taken with your kaiju, I started to think like a little bit outside of what you typically think of with a kaiju. So it was like started looking at like I don't at this point like I'm a big fan of cosmic horror, like very Lovecraftian type stuff. So I figured, how could I inject that into the whole kaiju thing? And I think that my last two kaiju were very much a reflection of that. One was a very like amorphous living piece, like living thing that kind of like the thing, and then
Yeah.
this more recent one, the one Nullphage was basically an embodiment of endlessness.
Yeah, that was fun. Just the
Sometimes we just gotta
visual
start a
of
Call of
like,
Cthulhu campaign.
right? Another one. Jeez. Um, no, hell yeah. It was a really cool visual, like thinking of like the two nukes being like enveloped by the entity and then just, "Eh, I'm fine." And like just how daunting that has to be. I was like, because they're nukes, man. So yeah, that was a very fun moment that I think gave the severity of the danger of the situation a boost.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Hmm. All right, so we'll move on now to the nation of Sid, which everyone gave a call
Indeed.
to today.
Indeed, everyone attempted to get assistance from the nation, and the nation did its best to assist everyone equally. Unfortunately, y'all's kaiju seem to have other plans for the systems deployed by our nation. Ironically enough, it was our sunburst launchers that destroyed our kaiju, so either your kaiju learned or your kaiju got lucky as shit. Yes.
One of the two, yeah. Down to the wire quite a bit. But yeah, here's the first question for you, Nation of Sid.
Of
How will the
course.
nation yeah. How will the nation of Sid remember the other fallen societies moving forward, especially considering the nation of Sid was mainly comprised of refugees from the other continents and islands?
Understand that the fall of the other nations is a tragedy that should not be celebrated. The nation feels great sorrow and loss at the destruction of our fellow mankind. However, like the kaiju, we must accept that reality is what reality is. They have been defeated, and while they are gone, their people still live on. For you see, some of our own, like you said, are from the Dominion, some from the Commonwealth, some from the Imperium. Y'all's loss is ultimately also the loss of the nation of Sid.
And heavy burdens to carry forward. Here's another question for you. What legacy or message would your surviving pilot leave behind for the future pilots that will arise in the upcoming campaign to take on the broken world?
The message that Alpha leaves, alas, not Alpha, truly my heir, Sid the Worthy leaves, for all those who come behind them, is one of strength, of resilience, and tenacity. Even those of us, outcasts and rejects of other nations, due to our size, our stature, have proven that even we can be the mightiest warriors in the land and claim victory from the jaws of giants.
Inspiring words. Hell yeah. All right, and then I'll close it off with the same question that I asked before. What was your inspiration for your kaijus, and which one was your favorite to roleplay?
Okay, so obviously the first kaiju that I had was totally a kaiju number 8 fucking ripoff. Like I'm
It was
not
fun
even
though.
trying to, yeah, I'm not even trying to pretend that it wasn't. But it was a really cool concept with the two different the twin bodied kaiju attacking in unison. Um,
Mm.
because out of all of them, I was looking out of all the choices that were available and the ideas that I had for them, I wanted to do something reminiscent of Kaiju number 8 because I enjoyed the shit out of the anime. I'm looking forward to the next season. I ain't gonna bullshit about it. And I wanted something that really just gave that air of what is it actually capable of. The second kaiju, let's get real about it. That one was an Aether Touch Displacer Beast.
Yes.
I ain't gonna bullshit y'all. I ain't gonna try to bullshit nobody. That was my love of Displacer Beasts needing to be in kaiju format. And I think that was a really fun one. It was fun to watch you react to the kaiju sized threat that is a Displacer Beast of that size.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I thought it was cool too as well because I like no planning at all. Coincidentally, I also went with like a corrosive poison type build. So it was just kind of a cool little face off there of two very similar elements.
Right. And then for the when it came down to Kragan, the again, I actually should have preferenced this with I had all three of my kaiju designed before we started. There was no afterthought or changing of any of that after we started. Like I had the whole the sheet filled out completely. Um, the reason I chose Kragan out of everything was because there had been a few times when you guys had made references to the fact that so his heritage form is like facing a kaiju, and well, I just got done actually finishing Kragan, like the real Kragan, and I kind of wanted to show off his new heritage form, and why not use it in a kaiju battle?
Right? All the tentacles.
Yeah. So you guys got to see the embodiment of knowledge's new heritage form, and truly see the horror that is the just one of the abilities behind him. Gravity seems to be having net problems.
Rat-row.
Rubro is right. Gravity, you doing okay over there, buddy?
Amazon tech issues, but I think they're fixed for now.
Okay. Okay. But do you have any other questions for me?
Well, those were the ones that I wrote down. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the questions that I want to ask, I would rather see in the upcoming campaign. Especially if it's going to be like hosted in your nation as the only surviving nation. I feel like that'll give you a chance to like show off your nation a little more in that campaign. Like a lot of the more like, cause like I have a lot of questions. Like for example, what is like some cultural things that people could gather off your nation? Like, oh, there's a lot of ice cream parlors in here, or there's a coliseum. Like,
Okay, so one of the cultural is so you're asking about the one of the major cultural identity things.
Yeah.
Would probably be ironically enough, the beer stalls everywhere.
Ooh.
Like genuine. They, well, apart from being, you have to think the nation's driving. The nation's main export is metal, and every kind of metal. So you have a bunch of miners, a bunch of metallurgists, you have a bunch of blacksmiths, chemists, armorers, people whose job is to literally process these elements and utilize them for the advancement of the nation. They use beer stalls as they use alcohol as their primary stress relief. And unlike in most nations where it's an escape, no, the work program in the nation's pretty pretty solid, as y'all will find out. I'm actually already thinking about the fact that we could totally do this as like a Shadowrun or a Starfinder game.
Right.
Could even technically do it. Could even technically do it in D&D since we do have Ryoko's Kaiju.
Oh, right. No.
Right.
That is until the kaiju on the moon decides to pull a Majora's Mask on us.
See, that's the other thing too is like with Spelljammer we can do this in D&D, we can do this in Pathfinder using Starfinder. But you guys have left me with two really cool concepts for the campaign. You have left me number one, well actually more than two, let's be real about this. So number one, we have the Collector who has now taken up residence.
Yep. And like I don't think all of the Valeris Dominion people died. I think a good chunk of them survived. They're just all mind controlled right now, which is fucking terrifying.
Right. Then we have then we have the kaiju that is on the moon, which, let's get real about it. You put a kaiju on the moon, I can do all sorts of nasty things with that. All sorts of horrible ideas come to mind right out the gate.
No, I have a plan for that. Especially like there's a reason it's called Mother.
Yeah, I got some bad ideas there. Then there is, and this I guess this will be the real spoiler here. There's Luther and Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
Did Kragan really eat them? You don't know?
I'm not sure, but I don't think he got Abigail because I think Luke was piloting the brain that had absorbed Abigail at the end of Front 2.
Like I said, don't know, do y'all?
Thus going full circle on our Evangelion references.
Yep. But it, like I said, with what you guys have given me, with what we created in this story, and that's one of the things I really like about at the end of it, after the finale, we're supposed to do this right here. Reflect on the game and the story we've told. And to be completely fair about it, we have an amazing opening to a potentially amazing epic campaign where a defeated world claws its way back from the brink to not only destroy the very creatures that have destroyed this world, but to also save and rebuild a society literally on the brink. On the edge.
Yeah.
We could go, like, it could go right over the edge. But at the same time, with the campaign, the party could end up being the very heroes to save it.
Yep.
Well, guys, this is where I must sign off.
Understood, Chugs. We're about to move right into D&D here. We were trying to wait for Darkheart to return. However, it would seem that Darkheart is not going to be able to return. Chugs, you have a great night, sir. Thank you for sticking it out as long as you have tonight, especially considering it is definitely getting late. You have a great night. We'll catch up with you this week, sir.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Sometimes.
Everybody have a good night. I'm Adam.
Peace.
This is your brain on Chugs, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And now the three of us will, I guess. Oh, you had something you wanted to say, Miguel? I do apologize.
No, you're good. Before you move on, and especially if we're gonna be crafting this long campaign um, in this world setting, are there any questions you have for me of the Zathalon Commonwealth?
I do actually have a few questions for you concerning the Zathalon Commonwealth. So with the fall of the Commonwealth, the refugees and those that have survived that did manage to survive the final destruction, um would they be still attempting to follow in their obviously misguided
Oh
religious
yeah.
beliefs, or would they finally have opened their eyes and started to realize the truth about what is going on in this world?
I think it's a little bit of both. Especially in like times of crisis and when like everything is destroyed. Like for example, there wasn't anything left of the Zathalon Commonwealth. So any survivors, I imagine, would be like rural people or like anyone who happened to be in a bunker at the time. Um, so like
So either
I feel like just
disconnected
people have
or zealots.
yes, exactly. Like I feel like people could either believe like, oh, everyone else ascended and I got left behind, so I still need to prove myself, or there's definitely people there that are like, this was bullshit. These people ruined something good. We could have totally survived this had we not been fucking with shit we shouldn't have. And there are definitely probably people out there who are gonna make sure that the Zathalon religion doesn't rise up again. And I'd like to think there would definitely be like some cults popping up every now and then.
Right, right. Um,
Hmm.
Now, apart from the ones that we did get to see through the game, did you have other, let's call them what they fucking are, Ava units in the basement?
Dude, there's one of the reasons why I wanted to play the ethereal frame, because I felt like there were a lot of really cool combinations there. One I didn't get to play with yet was a temporal looper, which is just fucking crazy. Um, and yeah, no, I like that you caught the references as well, especially second mech being called Cruel Angel. And just the whole, I mean, it was the main inspiration in general. Like, Evangelion was the first mech type of show that I had watched, and it made me fall in love with it, so I had to give it some flowers. Um, but I didn't want to do like full Shinji story either. I wanted it to be slightly different.
Right. And I could see that in that you did both, you took shots at both of his parents instead of just his mother, like in the
Yep.
original story.
Yep. Yep.
Look, if you ain't look, let's be real about this. This channel's really good about no spoilers, but Evangelion is over 20 years old. If you have not seen it, that's your
30.
fucking problem.
Yeah. It's like
I'm not
30
going
years old
to.
now, isn't it? Close?
Yeah, it 89.
Oh, yeah, no, even more. 36.
Yeah, because Ava was not actually a manga series first. It was a comic series.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
One of the cool parts there.
Mhm.
Hardcore Ava fanboy over here. I ain't gonna lie about it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was part of the inspiration as well that I took in Rebirth of Evangelion, the part where like the forces of Sela start invading Nerve headquarters and just shooting a whole bunch of people trying to get to like the bottom of this place. So like there's definitely like some references with like Dr. Geltz being kind of like Gendo in a way, like a German Gendo. Um, which is very fun to play with as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about your assault on my people. Um But no, I did like it. I did like it. Even your angels, I could immediately. I got the design. It was
Hmm.
almost immediately, and I even called you out about it if you remember. During the first round, because it
Hmm.
was so damn obvious.
Yes.
And I loved it. I really did. Don't misunderstand me. Like I enjoy this game. I enjoyed this game because of what this game is. It is a mecha. It is a love letter to tabletop games and board games and mecha and kaiju culture. Um, I feel like this game can be heavily expanded on. I feel like the developers are not done here. There's more to go. They have only
Yes.
touched the surface of what they can do with this game.
Oh yeah,
Um
you can make a lot of really cool modules out of this.
yes. Um I do think what really screwed us up hardcore was the hard mode on the first front.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was a spiral effect for some of us.
Yeah, the only nation that
I think
actually recovered.
especially Adam. Like yeah,
Yeah, the only nation that recovered from the first front was the nation of Sid, and that trend just continued itself in the third front as the nation dominated completely, which was surprising because I'll be honest with you right here, right now, I actually was expecting to be the one to lose.
yeah.
I was. The main reason why is because usually in games like this, the dice, contrary to what they do, contrary to what we've all seen, um, the dice do actually tend to fuck me in these kind of games
Hmm.
severely.
Yeah,
And
I know what you mean. That's why you want to try to like roll before you say what's about to happen, because you
exactly
almost feel
because I
like you'll
don't
jinx it.
exactly because I don't want to set the stage up and then oh, I just fucked myself. Cool.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm messing with the console and the console explodes. Fuck it. Uh, but no, I very much enjoyed your love letter to Evangeline throughout the entire game. I really enjoyed the Lovecraftian themes and elements that everybody brought to the table. It wasn't just Adam that brought those cosmic eldritch uh elements into this game. Everybody to a certain degree did the same damn thing.
Oh
Um
yeah.
and I really liked how to a certain degree the game went in a manner that all the nations that were experimenting on their own people were the ones
Yeah.
that lost.
Yes. I love
While
it.
the
The fall of
while
hubris.
yeah, while the nation built by the rejects, exiles, and castaways of these three nations was the one to actually win and seal the rift. It was the one to help all the other nations in that hour of need. Fucking nuts. Fucking nuts the
Yeah.
way a game can go. I really, like I said, I like that they tell you to reflect on the story that you and your friends built because this story truly was one of hubris.
Yep.
It was the nations who thought that they were better than everyone else.
Hmm.
So much so that they thought that experimenting on their own people wasn't beneath them, that ended up being destroyed by the extra dimensional threat of the kaiju.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fucking nuts.
I like how we all, in our own little way as well, explored the concept of home. Just we all took like the title. a little bit, and we're like, let's throw some shit in here. Let's add it into the flavoring. Um, yeah, we had a lot of stuff like that going on. Is this a home worth defending? And
Yeah.
when, especially like with the nations that were experimenting on their people, it was like, is this a home worth defending? Um, and it was fun trying to like flesh out a story where, in case it wasn't obvious, from the get-go, I was gonna have my pilot 1 and pilot 2 die, regardless if I won the fight with full HP.
Oh
The
yeah, I could tell the story
the
you were
kaiju brain
crafting,
was
they were
always
dead.
taken over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was always like the parents that got absorbed by this like cult of ideology, and having the last one be like, him trying to right all the wrongs and like get back to the source.
I
It was
got you,
very fun.
Oscar.
Very, you know,
I got you, Oscar.
very
I know
very
what you were
fun.
trying to do there.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That was
Trying
a fun thing too. Throwing a lot of Evangelion references here, knowing that you were gonna catch them as well, was very fun. Hearing your reaction sometimes.
Oh yeah, the fact that you basically pulled off Asuka's canon story arc where Daddy's a sack of shit and Asuka gets revenge on that.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the
And
things.
just
Like I loved how you tied so many of the different plot points in with your story. I really do, and to be fair, I like how Dark incorporated so many Warhammer references
Yeah.
without them
Yes.
being just dead ass Warhammer references.
Yep. It had a life of its own. It wasn't just a reference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I loved it.
I enjoyed the way that the Dominion operated and the way that Chugs played. Like it was very interesting to see 3 players that I know typically don't play these kinds of characters and these kinds of mentalities actually being kind of degenerate sack of shit rulers. Like you all cannibalized your own nations, and the universe basically said the kaiju are it's y'all's learning moment. Die. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the Zathalonians were right. Maybe the kaijus are a test from the cosmos, and they said, nah, y'all aren't ready.
Now that everybody knows what the test of the cosmos is. It's the secret that Sid Prime is keeping all to himself.
Oh, that might be something interesting to play around with in the next campaign.
Oh, it was never. It was the answer was always in front of y'all. It was never just some dude named Sid Prime. But there's only one person who could truly be this powerful. But this was the true Sid.
Hell yeah.
Indeed, I was the true mastermind behind this game attempt. I took the wheel from Aaron on day 1 and told him, "Get out of here! I'm running the show." And so
yeah, we all felt it once you started using the voice. And you said, like, I'm not doing the voice for the rest of the game because it would hurt my throat. I peeped that and I was like, oh, so that you would be speaking. You are Sid. Gotcha.
Indeed, it was always me, Sid. I'm the real winner, not Aaron. Fuck that guy. I won this shit, and now I will lead all of you to glorious victory in the name of the nation of Sid.
Next campaign is going to be called Reconquista de Sid.
Yup. But no. At this point, let us digress from here.
Yep.
Please.
And at this point, again, like we said, we were again. It was a very nice stall attempt, but apparently Dark will not be making it back here in time. So we are about to go ahead and move right into Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Darkheart is the dungeon master and game master for for Raven and Ravnica, the second act of Everybody Loves Kragan. The three of us here are all players, so we can tell you from our perspective what happened, how we feel about the last session. But unfortunately, our DM is now at our mercy.
So we hold the power now.
Indeed, we do. But let us first turn to the liar of the group.
I am
Trini.
no such thing. I am not a liar. I just keep secrets. There's a difference.
Liar, got it.
I have done no lying. But yeah, again, everybody. So last time, after dealing with my curse for the session, and probably onward, I basically went into the fact that Trini is not an elf, but a changeling, and has basically been keeping that secret for a while.
Still are.
While in lore, it did to some of the party. Sorry. But yeah, after initially, yeah, interesting set of talks about what's going on. Also, the interesting sleeping situation that she has, because I'm still freaking laughing about that. The white room. Anyway, initially, where to fucking begin? After exposing my secret to the audience and so on, we decided to meet up again with the rest of the party. Party only to find, well, something happened last night other than us getting jumped.
Yeah. Thievery!
No, we can't say it's thievery. It might be something more explosive.
Thievery? What thievery happened?
My maps!
Oh no! Not your maps!
Mis mapas!
You can make
Not
new
mis
ones,
mapas.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe, supposedly.
Oh well, then get to it, slacker.
Yeah, just need the time to do it. I mean, I'm not gonna do it right fucking now. You and I got a interesting conversation we're walking to.
Facts. Right now, after reuniting with the party, we all headed to the Justicar to find, well,
She's been blown up.
we believe she's been blown up.
Yeah.
We arrived to find Hazda militia and Azorius law mages combing the area looking for evidence and any witnesses and culprits, obviously, to the explosion that happened at the Justicar's office. What we could see as we were being escorted away for questioning was blown out door, blown out windows, and last but not least, tracks belonging to a specific cart.
Leave her out of this.
So we are the funniest part here is that this party is basically currently joined out of necessity. They have a significant number of fines and a significant amount of money that makes it so that we have to work together if we're going to completely clear our names and get the charges dropped.
Yes.
And we still don't know what the hell's going on because as a party, we made the decision to go get some rest and continue this conversation at a later date.
Right. Which has me thinking, like, if the Justicar actually like perished in there, and we're going to be questioned by a different Justicar, we might actually really need to see what other information the Justicar had left in their office, if there was anything even left as well.
I have
But like, what
I
did
have a
what did we
plan for that.
miss?
I have a plan for
Yeah.
that, but the problem is that we now know. Well, we're not going to talk about that here. But I'm excited to see what happens with the next session, and that is next Sunday, guys. But
Mhm.
I'm excited to see what happens with the next session. I'm especially excited to see what all happens with the story moving forward, because the thing that that Dark was apparently waiting on is done.
Oh boy.
Well, the prerequisite was that we set that I forgot about is that Act 3 needed to be just about ready to launch.
Oh
Act
boy.
3 is not just about ready to launch, but is completely ready to launch. I'll let the two of you take over for a minute as my house is exploding into cacophonous rage.
That doggos will rise up.
Of course they are. But yeah.
Uh, I had a question for Trini.
I'm going to try to answer
All right.
as best I
How
can.
so? Aaron pointed out earlier, this party is currently together mostly out of necessity, except you and me, where we've been chilling for a
Yeah.
while. We're besties.
My best friend.
Yeah.
Well, that's alright.
Yes.
Red flag, red
Um,
flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
just Kaylin, blink, blink, blink. Yeah, besties. Um, but no, I was gonna say, being with the parties together out of necessity, and I imagine also out of necessity having to have explained to Tarek your situation and revealed
Mhm.
to the audience as well. Um, how do you think that's gonna affect the relationship with Tarek on the days to come? Is it gonna be like even more nervousness now because he has some dirt on you, or is it like somebody else knows so I can relax a little bit more against with another person of the group instead of just one? Like, what's the mentality approach here?
Hmm. Well, yeah. Paranoia is definitely going to be playing a part in it because Tree, well, she does know Tarek has reasons to keep secrets and probably can. It's more of how much longer before all of her secrets come out.
Right.
How much longer before something or someone or some assholes we know out of character are going to lead to events that have Trini going, and here's all of my secrets.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm looking forward
I,
to that.
yeah, because I already know somebody in the party who hearing all of my secrets will lead to issues.
Yep.
Like, which leads
Okay.
to and also raises the question: what other mysteries are we not noticing at this point? Like, because
Right. I mean,
I have
one thing I need to do as well is I need to get once we're done with this situation, get the whole party together in front of a whiteboard and just pull up a map, especially because I'm a fucking map maker, so I'll just recreate the map and connect all the dots again, just like crazy conspiracy theory. Like, okay, so all these events happened here, here. Where do we go first?
so
We
do an
need
aftershock
information.
hit.
Yes.
So have a repeat of the aftershock moment just with Kaylin instead. Oh god, all of our parties are just gonna go crazy with this.
Yes. But
Meanwhile, Dark
try
is
to.
already preparing the nukes.
Oh yeah, 100%. The nukes are already ready. The nukes are in the Niv Mizzet has 2 nukes already. We're fine.
You don't know if this will activate. What's left, what's right. It might not happen.
Attention, the Izzet have the nukes. Everyone, panic, the Izzet have the nukes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
We know that's probably got some secrets going on.
Well, that answers a few questions. Now it's time to go over there and perform some adaptive experimentation.
Like I say, I figure
yeah.
out how to deal with my hair situation.
Right.
First.
Yeah. Had a question for you, Aaron, as well. So, your bitch ass said we were gonna fight session 1, and we're on what, session 4 or 5? Fuck is up with that?
You ready to fight, Kalen?
I mean, I have no reason to fight. But I wasn't the one to say.
Are you challenging me now to a fight, Kalen?
Mayhaps if we live this.
Very well. We'll go to the Hazda militia's training camp, and we'll spar.
Yes, in an epic rap battle.
No. With my hand across your face, little girl.
And then Kalen grows gargantuan. Watches off!
Aaron does the same thing. I said, little girl.
We'll see. We'll see. Hey, if we get to level 10 as a rune knight, I grow by 3d 4 inches. Just you wait, bitch. I'm gonna hit my growth spurt.
All ones.
Oh my god.
Rolls all ones.
No.
Rolls all ones.
I need at least 1, 2. I'm still shorter than him. No.
Rolls 2 inches. Aaron goes back to Simic. All right, bitch. You want to keep acting like that? Adds 5 more inches to his body.
This mother.
Takes a second. Grows 6 inches. The stupidity of this group.
Yep,
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
But yeah,
all the shenanigans.
That is to be fair to you guys, the audience. That is the nutshell and sum of last session. We are still in the opening of Raven and Ravnica, so even us, the players, don't really have much going on or to talk about. So
it's still coming down. The Dark's dice seem to want me dead.
Yeah. That's everybody's dice gravity, not just Dark's.
Yeah.
The Dark's gotten the closest.
Yeah.
It's more worrying.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you still got a lot to learn about the characters. I know we all got some secrets going on, so what I'm wondering is if we're gonna get to the middle part of this campaign and still have secrets left over. That's what I'm wondering.
Who really knows?
Yeah.
The dude that's not in here right now, that's who.
Yeah, pretty much.
That being said, it is time to wrap this up, gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming and joining us once again for the GM podcast. I've been Aaron Sigil, once again, the main GM of Everybody Loves Kragan, the GM of Avenging the King. Gravity.
Everybody, I have been Gravity Shock, the GM of Pathfinder game, and a player in plenty of others. Also, the one that feels the Reaper on their shoulder the most at the moment. God,
This is your brain on chugs. Adam has already left the building. The game master for Better Off Red, our 2077 campaign, or Cyberpunk Red campaign. Sorry.
Yeah. Not there yet. One day.
Yep.
Some
Next
point.
is Netrunner's Toolkit. Not Netrunner, Edge Runner's Toolkit.
Yep. Where we ban all the Netrunner updates. Yep.
Nope. That's where Aaron goes Netrunner again and makes everybody regret the fact that yeah, I can quick hack. Dark is here in spirit, but again has some personal things going on. He is the GM of Act 2 of Everybody Loves Kragan and the sub GM for the first act of Everybody Loves Kragan. GM of Raven and Ravnica, Darkheart. Miguel?
And I've been Miguel, player in the majority of the campaigns. Fox in Cyberpunk Red, Kaelin in Raven and Ravnica, Jingles in Pathfinder, Raul in Avenging the King, and have been the Xenophalon Commonwealth on Home.
And yes. And yes, this was the wrap up for Home Mech X Kaiju, as the game has concluded as of today. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a fun ride with y'all today. Say good night, everybody.
Good night.
What?
The hell?
I said good night.
Oh, you came out robot as shit, bro.
Oh, damn.
It's okay.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all